Welcome back to Peaks 47. Before I start doing some scenics today, I just wanted to show you a couple of new products that Richard Brighton from DCC Concept has been kind enough to send out to me for me to try and have a play with. So I've recently had a problem with my DCC controller. One of my locos wasn't responding. I thought I had a problem with the loco, so I sent it back to YouTube, the chip where I got it from. They were kind enough to have a look at it for me, and strangely it came back with no fault. So when I tried it again, it was working fine, so I thought everything was okay. And then a couple of days later, nothing on the track seemed to respond, but I had good voltage and my Gauge Master Prodigy Advance seemed to be accepting the commands, but I wasn't getting any signals or any movement or any sound. So I gave Richard Brighton a shout and just ran it past him. We tried to do some diagnosis and we wasn't sure what was going on, but in the meantime he was kind enough to send me out the alpha meter, which I thought I'd just show you what it's all about now. So here it is. I crudely just mounted it to the bottom of my shelf for now, but this is designed to go into an interface. So basically it just comes out the back of your DCC base unit. It goes in one end through the alpha meter, and then your bus comes out and then runs down to your track level. So basically, as you can see, it's telling me what voltages I've got and how many amps I'm currently drawing. So that's with 8 locos on track not doing anything, they're drawing that amount of amps. So I know that my limit on the Gauge Master is 3.5 amps because I don't have the booster pack for it, and this thing will just give you the idea of how far that you're going. So if I turn a loco on now, the sound probably doesn't make any difference, and as the loco draws away you should see the amp starting to climb. There we go. So it just gives you an idea of how many amps you're using and how many locos you can run before you get to your maximum amount. So the faster I go, it doesn't seem to go up anymore. If I was to start another loco up, it would then rise up higher again. So thanks again, Richard, for sending it out. And the outcome in the controller in the end was I sent it back to Gauge Master for repair, and that also came back with no fault. So I was really baffled when it came back to me. So I wired it up to the alpha meter and it was saying everything was fine. So I thought, right, well, have I blown all my chips? And then in desperation, I just tried address 3. And strangely, I pressed F1 and every loco on the layout fired its sounds up. So for whatever reason, my Gauge Master Prodigy Advance, it might do it on other controllers as well, I don't know, but it changed all my addresses back to 3. All the CVs that I'd altered, I've done a lot of alterations on the Peckett, changed some of the functions around, and like CV3, CV4, it hadn't changed any of the CV settings that I'd entered. It had purely just changed the address back to 3. So there didn't seem to be anything wrong. I put them all back on the programming track, put their new address in, and everything's been okay since. So I know I've waffled on a bit, but I just hoped that this might help someone in the future. So if you ever think that you've got nothing working and things have blown, foolishly I didn't just try address 3. It might be always worth just trying address 3 before you do anything else. I've never known it happen before, but yeah, hopefully that can help you out or give you any ideas if you get any problems like that with any of your sound locos in the future. And the second item I just wanted to quickly go through with you is these bus suppressors. I'd never heard of them before, but basically they're designed to protect your decoders from any spikes that your controller might throw out. I don't think it happens very often, but when these spikes occur, they can obviously cause long-term damage to your expensive chip. So anything over 16 volts going through your chip isn't really ideal. So this thing almost acts like an inline fuse, I suppose. So dead easy to rig up. They come in a pack, you get 2 in a pack. So you've just got red to the end of your bus, black to the end of the bus. If you've only got one spur on your bus like me, you just need one of them. So you just solder these on, and you'll know if they're working because these run really, really warm. But just for a peace of mind and to give you a little bit of protection on the circuit, I highly recommend having these as well. So I'm going to make a start on weathering these rolling stock for the competition winner, Steve. So Steve, hope you're watching, mate. Yeah, this is going to be the first sort of stages. So as you've requested, you want them all weathered at varying levels. So we'll probably absolutely batter one of these, lightly weather the other one, and then maybe have the LMS one sort of in between. It's kind of almost got a weathering on it anyway. I'll just try and maybe pick up some of the planks for you on that one. But all in all, we're going to make these two look considerably different. And then we're just not sure what we're doing with the loach yet, are we, mate? I know you've asked for lime. I'm trying to convince you to go with coal because they're from a colliery. But your wagons, honestly, I don't mind either way. I know I'm waiting for an email back for you, but while I'm waiting for the email, I just thought I'd make a start on mucking up the outsides. So the first thing I'm going to do is work on the battered one. And I've got some tea-cut and a cotton bud, and I'm just going to start removing some of the transfers a little bit, just to make it look a little bit worn out. So it's just a case of working it over the transfer, and it should start making it go thinner, which gives it the worn paint look. You can't really take too much off too soon. It takes a fair bit of scrubbing, but as you can see, that's just starting to take the paint off, or the transfer, which is giving you a weathered look. Right, so that's about 20 minutes of scrubbing with a tea-cut, and we've worn down the decals now. Not so much on there. I've removed the number off this one, so they haven't got the matching numbers. We'll do a bit of dry brushing on it, and then we'll finish off with the airbrush. So I've got a new colour here. It's a Humbrol Matte 118, and it's quite a good timber colour. This is the first time I've used it on a wagon. So rather than dry brushing it on, I'm just going to give a couple of light strokes in various places. And then with the cotton bud, just drag it about a bit. I can always add little bits more if I put too much on. I can wipe it off with the cotton bud and just give it some areas where the timber is perhaps breaking through. So there we go, one truck ready for its load. Okay, so I hope they're alright for you, Steve. At 3 sort of varying levels of weathering, so the cleanest being the centre, and a bit grubbier the LMS one, and then sort of really run down the one on the far right. So they're just ready for their loads now. Cheers Steve, hope they're alright for you. Thanks again for giving me Whittington Dale. I'll do a little running session with them now and then I'll box them up for you.